Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below for Moon River or any other game. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Many years ago, Kingdomino came out, won the Spiel des Jahres Game of the Year in Germany. Then there was Queendomino, then there was Kingdomino Origins. Well, now we have a sequel to this, or another one in the line of games, a standalone game called Moon River. And this is a very unique twist on the Kingdomino system, as you're going to be taking puzzle pieces and putting them together to make your own custom dominoes, and then placing them out. Let's take a look. In Moon River, you're going to be drafting plots of land that are like puzzle pieces, and you'll eventually be putting these together to create your own custom dominoes that you'll be building your own tableau with. Now, over the course of the game, you're going to be building your own 5x5 grid of different territories. You're also going to be putting cows and some specialists and such. At the end, you're going to look at each of your territories. Like, this is one big one of all the same types. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big. Multiply that by how many cows are here. 1, that gets me 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2 cows, 12 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, this one was here. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3, 12 points, right? You're also going to get points for corn. 1 for each of the corns, 1 for each of the gold, 1 for each of the beavers, okay? There's specialists that can help you score. This one gets you an additional point for every gold, additional point for every corn. There's some that do some for beavers and such. You add up all your points, and the one with the most points is the winner. So let's talk about how you go about building this. Now what happens is at the beginning of the game, 4 tiles are placed out, and each player is randomly placed on one of these. Then what happens is we put 4 new tiles up. This is similar to Kingdomino. These are all numbered between 1 and 6, okay? The lower number's up here, the better number, the higher number's up here. The higher the number, the better the tile. So this player is going to pick one of these to be able to get next turn. Now, why would you not ever always go for the bottom one? Well, because everyone goes from top to bottom for the next turn. So if I take this tile, it's probably the weakest of the bunch, but it's going to allow me to go first next turn. Or do I want one of this that's even better, or one of these best ones, but next turn I'm going to go last. So it's all about timing and what you want. Maybe I want to grab this one. So what I'll do is I'll then collect this tile, and I'm going to put it on my reserve board like that. So then I'll randomly take 4 more tiles, put them in order. If they're the same, it just goes in the order that you pulled them. These go up, and then players pick again. So let's say this player takes this one. They'll put this one on their thing, and let's say it's us. Maybe we want to take this one, we put this one on our board, and so on and so forth. Let's say this one goes here, and this one goes here, and you keep doing this over and over. Now, I have 2 of these here. As soon as I have 2, I can, if I want to, put these together as a puzzle and place them on my board. Or I can wait until next turn when I get something like this. You can even wait 1 more turn, and let's say that you get something like this for your last one. So you have 3 reserved, and I just pulled 1. This is the most you could have. At this point, you're forced to make at least 1 of these and put it out on your board. We'll talk about this in a moment. But if I wanted to make both of them at this point, you can. And so you're trying to decide. Timing is a big thing as to when you want to, put your plots together for a domino and place them out. At the beginning of the game, you can place them next to your bridges. This is like a wild. So anything can go here, anything can go here, and anything can go here. However, on a future turn, let's say I have these 2 and I want to place them. So let's say I put them like this. And let's say I place it like this. Now it has to go next to one of the bridges as a wild, or next to something else. If I do, one of them has to match something next to it. So in this case, this matches, that's fine. This doesn't have to match because this one does match. Now this one, you get a cow and you put in there. And as I showed you, cows are very important because they're points, but there are ways to move them around, because right now this is the biggest field. I might want to get the cow here because, the cow is sort of a multiplier there. So maybe later I take this one and I do maybe something like this. And if it has a circle, when I place that, I can take one of these and put it in that spot. This will get me 1 more point for every corn, 1 more point for every beaver, 1 more point for every gold at the end of the game. Or I could possibly steal somebody else's cow, or trade tiles with somebody, basically giving them 1 off my reservation board and taking 1 from their 1 reservation board and basically swapping them if I want there. Now, any of these that you take, instead of placing them like this with this side up, you can always flip them all over. They all have this back, and if I do this, it allows me to get up to 3 cow moves. So I could go 1, I don't have any more. I could go 1, 2, whatever, move them around. I only have 1 cow, so I'll move this here because now this is going to help me start scoring some of these bigger items there. Now, if I had happened to have had a cow here and someone tried to steal it, they couldn't steal this one because any token, regardless of size, protects all the cows on this territory. But right now, this one is a little bit vulnerable because it could get stolen unless I get a one that is in this territory where I can place a token and put it there and sort of protect this cow there. So there's a little bit of take that here, but it's not too bad because you can typically protect them. Now, one thing I haven't shown you is this. You don't want these. These are droughts. When you place this tile, you must kill a cow because there's a drought in this territory. So you kind of want to get these out first and then get the cows because they only activate as you place them like that. So this would have killed this cow, so we probably would not have put this here. We may have like separated this out and put it somewhere else, maybe over here. And again, the corn is important too. I wouldn't put this here because the cows can never go on or through the corn, so it's kind of blocked us into moving this way like that, if you will. And this is that's pretty much how you play, and you'll keep going until everyone's finished with their 5x5 grid and score it as I showed you earlier. Now, if you're watching this, you definitely play games, and hey, why not make some money while gaming? Now, the World Series of Board Gaming 2023 is in Las Vegas from September 24th through 28th, and they're giving away over $40,000 and Super Bowl style rings to the winners. Now, there's 16 different games available to play, like Ticket to Ride, Wingspan, Terraforming Mars, and many more. Now, you can click the link below to learn more details of how it works, and to receive $40 off your entry using the promo code GameBoyGeek. All right, thing I like most about this, and it might seem like a gimmick, but it kind of is, but it works. And mechanically, it makes the game a lot better. So I'm not going to call it a gimmick, but it's the plots of those puzzle pieces, right? And you're drafting these little pieces, and you're putting them together, and you're customizing your domino. I think that's just brilliant. It's such an interesting and fresh twist that seems simple, but it makes for so much a much more interesting decision space from a player. And I love that you're drafting these tiles, these plots, to your reserve board. And so you're putting them there. You can hold 3, and if it's full and you take a 4th, then you have to place at least 1 domino together and place it up, but you can place as many as you want. And so you're drafting this reserve board, and the timing of when you put them together and where you put them is a big part of the decision space, and I love that. The open timing as to when to place this just offers, again, much more interesting decision spaces without adding a lot of clutter or fiddliness to the game. It's still streamlined, right? So not only are you deciding when to place these dominoes because of I want to wait for this one to put it with this, then I can place it here, right? You're also, especially with the special ability tokens, because you might be like, oh, I can place this right now. I've got these 2. I can place it now. However, this one's going to give me a specialist. And the specialist I really want is not there right now. I want the one that gives me 1 point for beavers because I got a big forest. I got lots of beavers out here. I'm going to wait. I'll draft again. Maybe I'll draft 1 more. And okay, well, someone else has taken some and some has come out, and now I can go because it has the thing. So a lot of times you're kind of like, it's almost like a game of chicken of who's going to go. Sometimes you're rushing to get something out faster than you normally would. Like, these 2 really don't go great together, but I really need that specialist. I'm going to be the first one to take it. He's going to be able to take one after me. He might take the one I like and the one I really need. He knows which one I need. I'm going to make this domino together with these 2 puzzle pieces, even though it's not ideal. I'm going to place it out now, even though it's not the ideal time, because I need that piece. And that's interesting. It adds a lot of depth to the game without a lot of overhead. That's what this game is all about. And so those special ability tokens are cool. Some of them give you points for having, extra points for having corn, beavers, gold, but some of them give you the special abilities like stealing cows, stealing other things, or flipping it over and just giving yourself the cow movement. Now let's talk about this. The cows, getting these cows instead of the printed crowns in the original Kingdomino is brilliant. It's like, these are kind of like the crowns of Kingdomino. These are the multipliers for your territory. For every cow you have on a territory, you're going to multiply the number of cows times the number of tiles in that territory, just like how the crowns worked in Kingdomino. But they go on your tiles, and then you have the flexibility of moving them. But you have to maybe protect them, because others might steal them, or you might steal some from other people. And I just think this is great, that the fact that you can move your cows from where they are to bigger places. So you might take one that gets 2 cows, and you don't even care about that piece. You're going to put it next to your biggest territory, put them there and get them easily moved off into a territory that you worked on. Again, way more depth in Kingdomino without a lot of overhead. So for me, this game is the absolute sweet spot of complexity to depth, or depth to complexity as I call it, where you've got Kingdomino on one side, you've got Queendomino on the other side, you've got Kingdomino Origins kind of like in the middle there. This is right in between all of those, because the depth, I think it has as much depth as Queendomino without having all of the extra rules overhead and all the extra special ability tiles and all the looking up stuff. That game had a little bit of fiddliness to it because there was a lot more going on. This game, I feel like, gives like a similar amount of depth, but with pretty much just a little bit more overhead of rules than Kingdomino, so it's still streamlined. So I think this is like just the sweet spot for me. On the negative side of things, the game has some take that abilities. You can steal cows from other people, and you can swap one of your tiles on your reserve board for someone else's, right? That can be negative for some people. Like I know Rado would hate that, right? But it's not that bad because A, you can protect your cows, right? Either side of the token is going to protect cows, so it's not that bad. And if someone swaps it for you, chances are you're still getting something that you can use, right? Some people might still not like that, just know it's there, but also know that it's really not that bad in practice. And the other thing is, like, some people will probably already have like Kingdomino overload. Like I said, we've had Kingdomino, we've had expansions to Kingdomino, we've had Queendomino, we've had Kingdomino Origins, which is almost like 3 versions of Kingdomino in one box. Now we have this. And I think some people are going to see this and go, oh, it's a sequel to Kingdomino. I've had enough of that. I'm just going to go somewhere else. Right? There's some people that are going to be like that. Quite honestly, with my group the other night, hey, this is a sequel to Kingdomino. It's got some interesting things. They're all like, okay, we'll try it. They play it. They're like, okay, yep, this is good. This is such a fresh take. This is good. You know. So even if you have a little bit of fatigue on the Kingdomino side of things, this is definitely one to check out. If you don't have Kingdomino, I think this is the one to get. Sure, it's a little bit more going on the Kingdomino, but it's still, even if you're not like a diehard, if you're just a very casual gamer, I think you could still pick this one up and figure it out. I don't know, I mentioned last time when I did Kingdomino Origins, that was the favorite of my series because it like starts easy, and then they have like a bunch of different ways to play, and it gets like to gamer-ish, and it does. This one is also just so, it's just making the plots of lands is just so fun. And the timing is everything in this game, and I like that too. For that reason, this one might be my favorite. Anyway, that's what I think about, it's not Kingdomino, it is Moon River. So that is Moon River. It's been a Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing the relationships through board games, by helping you find the next one you'll love. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table into a high-quality gaming solution, but they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with over 20 styles of thematic game mats in 11 different sizes from notable board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and real cool accessories, experience what thousands of other gamers enjoy by upgrading every game you play with a Game Topper system. Save hundreds of dollars on Game Topper package deals that are in stock now for immediate shipping at GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below.